Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Uranus Sextile or Trine one's natal ascendant. Now, this transit could manifest in goals, aspirations, friendships, one's future, freedom, independence. These things can be in harmony with the physical body and appearance. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. The thing about this is you may have at this time really having, if you're pursuing goals and aspirations, feel more physically able to do so, having the vitality and energy to do it. Um, the ascendant is in Taurus like me. Um, could be a much latent energy behind those prodigious powers of endurance. It could be transit at the time of this video, transit Uranus is of course in Taurus. So a lot of this, the goals and aspirations can be more predicated and dependent on the house that it's traversing. And if it's in the 11th house, those goals and aspirations are maybe connected with computers or electronics or astrology, innovation, tech labs, meteorology as some examples. And this is a time too where at this time as well that friendships might feel more compatible, with your physical body, your appearance. They may feel that whatever it is you're doing at this time in terms of how you appear and your physical condition, they may be impressed. It could be even if you're somebody that's overweight, maybe you've made some strides and you've lost some weight, or you started to work out vigorously and it's having some effect. Whatever it is, the friendships and people that could be in groups, clubs, organizations, acquaintances, may be more in harmony in favor of this at this time, more so than they ordinarily would. So it's also a time where it's also more compatibility, I would say, with your friends and acquaintances, being more compatible with your outlook on life. And if your ascendant is in Sagittarius, it could be an outlook that's very expansive, optimistic, and just a general, the qualities that you're naturally expressing. Again, going back to the ascendant being in Sagittarius as an example, those qualities can be very being jocular, jovial, expansive, optimistic, upbeat, humorous, philosophical as some examples. And this is also a time where really your future is really can be more tight. It really is in more harmony with how you look, how you appear. Remember that the ascendant is associated with first impressions. So this could be a very positive transit for making one of those, because um, Uranus is about, we're moving toward its progressive energy. It's about the future. And this is a time where, a lot of this, the energy that's, a lot of your appearance, how you are physically, your outer demeanor, the ascendant is connected with the outer demeanor and that projection of self. And it's a time where your future, may be really more in agreement with it, so to speak, where your how you appear might be more tied in, with your future than you may even realize. And the ascendant is also associated with those qualities that we naturally and readily express. And this is a time, again, going back to friends, to groups, clubs, organizations. Those people may be more in harmony with what you're projecting, outwardly. Say if the ascendant is in Gemini, there could be very vivacious qualities, loquacious energy, versatility, being diversified, quick-witted. This is the energy that may be more in harmony, with these people at this time. And really, it's about a time when you feel like you have more freedom to express, your outer self. Now, the ascendant in most cases, will be different than the sun sign. The sun sign, of course, is associated with our basic character. The ascendant is the outer demeanor, our facade, our projection of self. But in some cases, if your sun sign is the same as the ascendant, well, then your sun and ascendant would really be the same. Your outer demeanor is the same as your true inner, your true basic character. But anyway, um, the thing about this too is, in going back to the ascendant being associated with first impressions, this is the time, if you're trying to make new friendships, this is the time where it can be very positive for doing so, that those prospective friends could be more, in harmony again with how, your outer demeanor, how you appear. Um, it can be a time to, if you're trying to join, some group, club, or organization, it can be very auspicious for that as well. It may be a time as well during this transit, that you're, if you have any goals, or aspirations, that are tied into making a better first impression, say, or, doing something appearance related, something with the physical body, this could be the time where it can be very positive for that, where you can have more success during this transit, because you're talking about harmonious aspect, a good relationship between the transit of the planet Uranus and your natal ascendant at this time. And it's also a time to keep in mind the ascendant is associated with defense mechanisms. So it may be a time where you might not feel as if you have to put on the defensive front. If you're, like, say, going back to the ascendant being in Taurus, that you're less likely to go, okay, it's a time to be unyielding, stubborn, and obstinate, and I'm in a situation that's that I'm not secure in, or I feel unsafe in, that you'll be less likely to do that. I would say during transit like this, that is a positive aspect of sextile or trine, as opposed to, like, say, if you had a square or opposition transit, then that could be a little bit different. Then a lot of times when you have those kind of transits, it brings out the negative characteristics of the ascendant. But another thing too is that this could be a time to express, I would say, really friendliness, even more friendship to people that were prominent in your early childhood, and showing kindness and goodwill toward a grandparent, humanitarian, showing selfless altruistic qualities toward a grandparent at this time. And it's also a time where you feel it's a good transit, because Uranus being forward moving and the ascendant being associated with new beginnings. This could be a time where you're more apt to move forward toward new beginnings at this time, more so than usual. That you're more progressive in doing so, that you're looking ahead in doing so and not looking back. And it's also about having the vitality and energy, again, to take care of goals, aspirations, doing things with friendships, or anything Uranus related in general, or it could be something with computers or astrology or astronomy, innovation, working with tech labs, some other examples. So these are some of the ways that this transit could manifest and pan out for you at this time. Now, another way this transit may manifest, it could be about friendships, which is Uranus. They may be more beneficial to you in new beginnings, which is the ascendant. Now, going back to the ascendant and Taurus as an example, those new beginnings could include carpet laying, gardening, geology, cultivation, working as being a stockbroker, a pawnbroker, even maybe working in construction, doing something that requires a lot of endurance. And another thing too, another way this transit may be expressed, it could be where goals and aspirations, which is Uranus. It's more likely you'll have that vitality and energy, which is the ascendant for. Now, let's say, for example, if transit Uranus is in Gemini, in the fifth house, it could be doing something, with badminton or table tennis, which can be connected with Gemini. It's a sport that requires quick reactions and it's something that would be a sport that you would enjoy, which is the 5th house. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, yeah, that's my signature statement. Now, also, too, another way this transit could manifest, it could be where clubs, which is Uranus, could be more in harmony and agreement with your outer demeanor, which is the ascendant. Now, let's say, for example, if the ascendant is in Virgo, it could be, the outer demeanor, maybe be very helpful, scrupulous, punctual, reliable, um, being very punctilious with details, as some examples. And it may be easier at this time to naturally express, which is the ascendant, ingenuity, which is Uranus. Let's say, for example, if the transit Uranus is in the 11th house, you may express ingenuity with computers, electronics, aviation, as some examples. And it also may be auspicious for really, just really at this time, for advancements or using advanced technology to improve the physical body. I would say Uranus is connected with advanced technology. It's things that are innovative. The physical body is the ascendant. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.